of course, in cooperation with Mesa. We're heading right over to our draft right away. Again, this is the finals match at the Group B stages. This is TG Gaming versus Clutch Guild.
And this is the game we've been waiting for! Absolutely, and they ban out the must bans, Beard and Violet finally again. But, Senyal. What's the story about Senyal that we've been doing all day, right?
Yeah,
Senyal either
he
100%
just wins,
pick, right?
Like freaking all the time. I mean, there's so few situations where he loses, so it's nice to see it on TG's side, just because naturally we give CG the upper hand. They've just had such a great performance today, so it's I do think that it's a good idea to grab this Senyal from them, because we've seen how CG uses the likes of Senyal, right? It just gets out of hand. So.
Exactly, and technically TG Gaming's run in the tournament is also undefeated if you don't count the forfeited first series of the day, and that's why it's so interesting.
Yes.
And for those people who just arrived at the stream, TG Gaming has supposedly already disbanded their team, and PPGL is their last match. So going into the finals, going up against Clutch Guild, this is definitely something not what they're expecting for sure, but let's go over the picks. Telana's being picked at the second time, I think, or first time here in the tournament.
Oh no, that's the second
time.
The last time it was picked was also by CG. Apparently it's a favorite thing from them. It's just really nice to see as well, because you don't see them using these common heroes that we always see, and yet they still perform to a level that we haven't seen before. So it's really nice to see them bringing these guys out again.
So again, on the side of TG though, Senyal and Alice. It's becoming a really basic combo. A lot of teams are actually picking that up, and I think that's because of the value that the shields and the healing from Senyal's ultimate provide. Alice's shields, Senyal's heal. It's like, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong, and there's a lot of dynamics in terms of strategy. You can split push, you can team fight, and eventually you can try to do 1-3-1 lane pressures and stuff like that. That's why it's super duper interesting to see what TG Gaming brings to the table, especially that Clutch Guild has been the established scary team within the Group B brackets, and that's why, you know, coming up to this best of 5 series, I'm pretty sure our teams are already exhausted the whole day. I think the tournament has started since 10 a.m. So imagine this is not only a test of how they work as a team, but also the mental fortitude that they have.
Exactly, and the power of their batteries.
Absolutely. Their phone's batteries.
That's so true, though.
Their phone's batteries, yeah. So absolutely, I would like to see more defensive gameplay maybe. From TG, because I think they ran a Joker mid again. We all know it takes a while to ramp up, and that's gonna be a hard task. That's a monumental task, especially against a team like CG.
Yep, sorry, it looks like we've set our piece for our analysis, but I'm really excited to head over to our game number 1, so I'm gonna throw it to the casters. Take it away, Butters and Aserai.
Aserai.
Yes.
Actually, speaking of batteries,
wake up, man! We're still going for it.
No, we're still going for it. Last push, last push. And this is the finals.
Oh my gosh, dude! Lift your hand. You're kind of disappearing.
No.
Your battery is almost down. But anyways, on to the brass tacks. Let's go to game number 1. Well, let's hype it up a little bit. TG Gaming versus Clutch Guild. And you gotta remember, guys, that Clutch Guild already has the 1-up because they are the top seed in this bracket, I believe Group B.
Yep.
And of course, not actually adding that to their reputation. This is a team, a guild that is feared upon by the teams that are actually participating in our tournament.
And seeing Clutch Guild being very dominant all throughout the tournament, I mean, they're beatable. They're not actually unbeatable. They're just making the proper decisions. They're picking the proper fights. So I think for TC Gaming here to win, TG Gaming here to win, they need to outsmart Clutch Guild.
That's true, but the question is, can they actually you know, start it up? Because Clutch Guild, they have such a way with the early game that they can make things happen in their favor in such a quick succession, and it shows. They had a game that was the earliest in today's matchups, which is a 6-minute GG.
Yep.
And the game after that, the second game for that particular best of 3 was a 7-minute 30-second GG.
Yeah, I guess it's all because that CG here, but hold that thought.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna pursue this, but there's this thing about Clutch Guild that whenever the enemy team collapses, they always take advantage of that collapse, and they always usually take the win out of those collapses. So let's see if Will here can actually fight this. Oh, well, PG Gaming.
So let's start it off as Lube is going to get called out. It's going to be Gerber actually activated on that one. Kriknak, or rather, sorry, the Archer will actually dove in onto the fight, but it seems like TG Gaming will force them out with a heavy man advantage rotation here as our Archer will get caught out and she has to back away. Till Honest will not be able to make much happen there, and it seems like Clutch Guild, from what they wanted to do, were thwarted by TG.
And this is what we're talking about earlier. You don't have to collapse. You do not need to collapse once you're fighting against Clutch Guild. Clutch Guild here are opportunists. Let's talk about it this way. Opportunists in a way that they will take advantage of every misstep you take, especially when you guys react to their aggression, and they always take advantage of that. So, I mean, they just need to stay composed, not do anything necessary, or be super aggressive, too aggressive in the early stages of the game. And I think TG Gaming here will be safe from the terror gaming that is brought by the Clutch Guild.
Seems like they wanted to actually go for the Abyssal Dragon, but TG Gaming were primed and ready. You know, they had themselves with the Chognar just going in on, or rather the Alice, I believe, thwarting the Chognar, trying to catch him off guard, and this is going to allow TG Gaming to actually go for the Abyssal. But now, this is going to allow maybe Tell Honest to go for the last hit. Oh my goodness, that was a little bit too close for comfort, but TG Gaming still getting that one and increasing their lead as well as experience a little bit further, you know, against CG.
Azurai slowly but surely, TG Gaming is taking objective after objective, pick-off after pick-off, and I think this is the way to beat Clutch Guild. As we said earlier, they're not unbeatable. It's just they're making all the right decisions in the game.
Lots of damage coming in from Envision, but as Zephys joins in onto the bombardment into the top lane, seems like Zephys won't. Rather. Okay, I just got like
he's at the bottom
my
lane.
brain exploded because Zenial was able to get away from that one with his ultimate. That'll be traded with the top tier 1, but his teammates will try to get revenge on the bottom tier 1, but no kills will be had here by CG, but Zenial's gonna come back into the top lane, spot it out, but now Joker is actually joined in onto the fight, but he might go down to the poke power of this Zephys, and that is gonna be true. Into the bottom lane we go. Seems like they're trying to go for even more kills or just the bottom tier 2, but you know, Clutch Guild trying to do the best that they can in terms of the trading here.
Here comes the point, the most crucial point here for the side of TG Gaming. Clutch Guild got their first tower, and I think the Zenial there should have gone back to the base just to regen up.
Yeah.
No, they got the tower and they got a kill, so it all goes to the favor of CG Guild as Clutch Guild again. But then again, I think they got the tower at the bottom lane, so it's a pretty even match right now.
Yeah, so to speak. I mean, 5 minutes in, we've seen other teams have like 5,000 advantage, but now it's only just a 1K gold lead. Not really the biggest, you know, considering the time, but it's going to be so adamant to be able to find that pick-off. Lubu's going to start it off right now, going to have the support of the Malik, pop in and out, and Lubu will be no more. Tell Honest might actually be in a very bad pickle of a situation here, but Gerber won't be able to connect his shots, and it seems like he might actually get caught out, might actually be punished right now as Chognar comes in from the sideline, hoping to you know, join his team to find another opening. But because there's no more ultimates for TG, this might be a prime and ready time for CG to make something happen, and Clutch Guild might break through. But there's just too much advantage, or too many members of TG pushing them out. Here comes the Zenial once again, and like I said, the power of the Zenial is pushing through, but Zephys, as he respawns, is going back into the fight, but he's lost a little bit of his mind. Level 8 against 3 members, still not going to be enough. He does put a lot of damage, but it was insufficient, and he has to back away, at least saving his members for the meantime.
And looking at the threat assessment here for the side of TG Gaming, they actually shifted to the... I forgot what hero is that 611 is using, but in a way, Zephys. They actually turned to the Zephys, then... I mean, they actually turned to the Zephys, then it seems that the fight was going to end, but they were over eager to actually get a kill. Then everything went down from there.
Everything went down indeed. I mean, maybe this is the weakness of CG, that there's such an early game type of team that when they actually don't have that insane control in the early game, they kind of still keep to their strats and force out fights that might not work in their favor, when in truth they should actually just be trying to, you know, mellow out a little bit here and try to get their damage online before making something happen.
Yep. And we've actually talked about this earlier at the panel, like what gameplay or what strategy will CG make in the late game, because almost every single one of their games was ended at 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Probably the longest was at 15 minutes. So yeah, I think we're going to see a long game here, especially if TG Gaming keeps doing what they're doing.
Name of the game for TG here will be to, like you said, keep this Joker alive, but he's not the only source of damage that's going to be coming out from TG, as it's shown by the Lubu and the Malok. They're just going to be in the middle of the fight trying to be aggressive, but if you go too overly aggressive, the punish can come out true or real enough, and Clutch Guild will oblige them. They're getting for a couple of kills here. Zenial will get the one, but it seems like Alice might not be able to escape. Here comes the Zenial with very little HP, and he gave himself on a silver platter, not even able to provide support for the support, and he goes down.
Actually get that play. I mean, Zenial, he was safe. He shouldn't have gone for his skill right there. He shouldn't have warped there.
Could have been a misplay too.
He was he trying to turn around that chase?
Maybe.
But still, I do get that the Angelic Splendor does wonders against those kinds of engagement, but still, you just gave another kill to the enemy.
True enough. And from what looked like a good start for TG, Clutch Guild or CG is starting to ramp up on their own side. And like I said, this is going to be just TG, you know, having the Joker as their sustained DPS, and at the same time, Gerber and Malak will be our bruisers, while Zenial will be the one to absorb all the damage. But here on Clutch Guild's side, where they have themselves the Jinnar and the Chognar, they're going to be able to control the fight.
A lot of Nars.
They're going to be able to control the fight in the way that they want to, but we'll just have to see as another fight breaks out right here.
And here comes Gerber. Oh no, my goodness.
Oh, no,
Cholo here will go down, and Gerber will go down next. SGton trying to fight this out. Black trying to get away, and everyone from the side of TG Gaming will go down, and that will be a team wipe for the side of Clutch Guild. And this is looking bad for the side of TG Gaming.
Like we said, the control that Clutch Guild have, if you don't get that immediate execution, they will be able to punish you so quickly because of how the Chognar just gives out that damage. And at the same time, while you're trying to push through that meat grinder, you know, they have the Zephyrs to be able to poke through some damage, the IRE as well with a lot of ability and assassination potential. And then at the end of it all, there is the power of the Tel'Anas just spewing out her multi-shots to be able to connect multiple targets, and TG don't really have the tankiest of composition. Yes, they do have the Zenial, but that's about it.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed about Clutch Guild here is they are good at initiating, and they are good at counter-initiating, reacting to the aggression of TG Gaming. So how do you beat a team like this? I mean, it seems that they got it all on lock. We've talked about this earlier. Their familiarity with the game is actually quite scary, but here comes the push.
Yeah, again, you gotta remember that Chognar has that cleanse ultimate of his to be able to stop any form of crowd control on his teammates. So maybe the thing to actually be able to stop this is to use... For me, I would actually want the Lubu to be the one to split push rather than the Zenial or the Malak. I kind of want the Malak to shock in and the Zenial to follow up with his Angelic presence. Sorry if I made a mistake with the ultimate. But anyways, so that at least they have some sort of really big front line. And then Lubu, even though he doesn't have the ultimate of the Zenial that is global, his mobility skills will be able to allow him to rotate quickly with his team to make it into a very viable fight. And now Lubuskin
Gerber on
actually
the backline.
going too over aggressive here, but the heal's coming out. It's solo, and he will go down to the Zephys, poking all day long. Who is the best poker here? Well, it seems like it's gonna be the Zephys. Clutch Guild will be able to take them out one after the other, as it seems like the Alice will not be able to put down a crowd control that she needs to. And well, that's going to be a triple kill here for our main man, 611. And it seems like the core is next onto the game. I mean, we're talking about a 15-minute GG possibly for TG here, but it seems like Clutch Guild bringing it back 12 minutes in.
And my goodness, that last flash, Cholo was in the middle of everything that Clutch Guild thrown.
Yeah.
The Clutch Guild skills, he's in the middle of everything. Now, look at how CG handles the clash. Their threat assessment is super good. Like, they always find the right targets. Like, they're always focused. They burst out the right targets. Then they clean up anyone who is left in the clash. So, I mean, I kind of find it hard that TG Gaming didn't actually go the distance with this game, but it seems that they had the early game on lock. They could have gone the distance with this game, but still, CG being the better team, it's scary.
That's true. And I think at the end of the day, the pick of the Telanas really helped out CG here, because they were able to deal so much damage in a good amount of time on multiple targets as well. But to give us a bit more analysis or in-depth insight on that one, we'll just be heading it on out to our analysts. So guys, you know what to do.
I'm the only one who reacted with that kind of reaction.